Welcome to Spirit Outspoken, where we dive deep into the realms of spirituality, healing, and the beautiful chaos we call life.
From ancient traditions to modern practices, we are going to explore it all. Whether you're a newbie or a seasoned seeker, you're guaranteed to find something that inspires, challenges, and intrigues you here.
So grab your favorite beverage, find a cozy spot to curl up, and join us for Spirit Outspoken.
Hello, and welcome to today's episode from Spirit Outspoken. We are so excited to talk about love and all things love, but a very particular kind of love that I think that the spiritual community will find interesting, and that's spiritual love. So we're going to talk a little bit about how we define it, what we do with it, what we think it is, and why it's so important to focus on that. And don't forget, before we get started, if you find today's episode useful or helpful, follow us on TikTok or Instagram, whatever platform you prefer. Share this with friends, with family, and be sure to leave us a comment on the podcast to let us know what you thought. With that, I will hand it over to my co-host, Rach, who's going to walk us through a little bit of a quiz.
Yes, we are going to actually start this podcast with a little bit of a fun game, Miss Jasa.
I know, and just so you know, this was a pop quiz, which already gives me anxiety. I wasn't expecting this today, but let's see how I do.
It's fun. So one of the things that we were discussing is that in our English language, there is only one word for love. And we use this one little 4-letter word to talk about our emotions regarding how we love our spouse, how we love our kids, how we love our morning cup of coffee, and how we love our mother or our dog or shopping at the mall. And in other cultures, they actually have multiple words to express the different types of love that we can feel. And so we're going to focus today on what the Greeks have in their language to describe all these different types of love.
They really did know more than us, didn't they?
I know. It makes so much sense, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't it? Okay, so we're going to start here, and I'm just going to list the name or the word of the type of love, and if you can guess which one I'm referring to. Okay, let's start just right out of the gate with one called storge.
Storage. Is that, let's see, storage. Would that be like community love?
Good guess.
Okay.
Kind in that this is a familial love. So this is a love that you might feel with family or someone that you've known for a long time and built up that
like
relationship.
Family type bond.
Yes. Yep. So it could also include maybe childhood friends or families that you grew up with.
So could I say I stork you, Rach? Would that be in the right context?
We'll have to go and Google that one. I'm not really sure. But yeah, so this is a referring to how you might love your parents or your children.
Okay.
And a love that naturally flows between parents and kids and extended family.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to move on to the next one, which is Eros.
Eros. Okay, I know this one. This is passionate love or
yes, romantic
love. Yes,
passion, sexual,
erotic.
intimate,
ERO,
erotic.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
And so this is the romantic love that we have, and the one that we probably are most familiar with in music and movies, and we're a little obsessed with that in our culture.
We are obsessed with that.
Yeah.
Every song is about love.
It really is. Okay. Or the lack of. Or
exactly.
The loss of.
The
right?
loss of.
And, okay, Ludos.
Ludos.
This one's a cool one. I like this one. I wish we had a word like this in English.
Oh, give me a hint.
Fun.
Oh, playful?
Yes. Ooh. Good. Yes. Yes.
So is that like the love for things? Or?
No, they describe it as almost like an innocent or a young love, a playful love, almost like when you're first falling in love with someone or attracted to someone early on in your relationship.
Oh, like
when things are flirty and you can't stand to be away from each other and you're playful and you're cute and you like toy with each other.
Okay.
But I just think that's so fun. They have a word for that, right?
Yes.
I know.
Cool.
I love that. Because it is a very distinct and short-lived.
It's short, very short.
Not that
it is.
And you can have moments of that, but like that intense, fun, playful feeling of the beginning of a relationship.
Yes. I forget what that's like for the record.
Yeah. In 20-some years.
20-some years.
But we're going to get into something else about that.
Okay.
So hold on.
Great.
Okay. The next one is philautia.
Philautia.
This is a good one too that we should probably focus on.
Okay. Ooh, that's a good hint.
I'm giving you a hint.
Our love of service.
No, that's a good guess, though. This is actually the love of self, and not in an egoic way, but actually just
Oh.
a self-love that allows us to also love others, right? So a love
Yes.
deep on a soul
That comes
level.
from within.
Yep.
It
That comes
spills
from
over onto other
and spills
people.
onto other people and allows us to
I love that.
be our best self.
I love that.
We love it. Okay. Pragma. This one's also very sweet. I love it.
Pragma?
Yeah.
Pragmatic.
Yeah. You're
Long-term love.
Yes. So
really?
This is love of a long and healthy relationship. So they talk about like the love of people who have been married for decades and the couple holding hands on a walk or sitting on their front porch, just so
See, I like that one.
completely at peace with one another and like a contented love that's been established over time.
That's really nice.
I know. Isn't that one sweet?
I'm doing better than this than I thought.
You really are. Okay. Philia. And I will give you a hint because this is what I always. Do you want a hint?
Yeah, definitely.
Think about Philadelphia.
Brotherly love.
Yes.
That was a great hint.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Where were you in high school?
So this is the love that you have for your friends. So this is a platonic love. So you can think of brotherly love or.
Are these like brotherly brothers and sisters that haven't turned into storg love?
No. These are friends, acquaintances.
Oh, just friends.
So your storg, your brothers, your siblings would be more of storg love.
Okay, so
These
like
are
literal
just
family.
Literally,
This is friends.
This is friends.
Okay,
Yep.
storg is family.
Yep.
What is this
Philia.
one? Philia.
So think of Philadelphia.
Is that legit where Philadelphia, the name came
I
from?
don't know, but that's what I thought of. And I find it.
Well, it's a good way to
It's
remember
gotta
it
be,
regardless.
right?
Is it PHI?
Yes.
Oh, I bet it is.
Yeah. I have to assume that it has something to do with that.
All right. Anybody who's listening or watching on Instagram or TikTok, let us know. If you know the answer to that, let us know.
Yes.
Do some research for us.
Anybody out in Pennsylvania, make sure to contact us. Okay, here's one. And this is interesting too. So This one's called mania.
Love for mankind.
This one actually, this is the only negative love word.
Oh.
So this refers to almost like a codependent love, an obsessive,
Like an
jealous,
attachment way?
attached love
Ew.
that's prone to jealousy. So this is the one that you want to try to avoid. And
Yes.
lastly, we have our final type of love, which is the one that we are going to focus on for the remainder of this podcast, which is
Agape.
That's right. And for those of you who don't know, agape is selfless love, and it is the highest and most radical type of love according to the Greeks. Those Greeks.
I was like,
Let me
I
try
didn't
that
know
again.
Greeks had 4 syllables. Creeps.
Yeah. So agape or selfless love is the highest and most radical type of love according to the Greeks. And agape is also what some call spiritual love. It's an unconditional love, bigger than ourselves, a boundless compassion, and infinite empathy. Agape is the purest form of love, free from desires and expectations, given regardless of the flaws and shortcomings in others. Agape love is altruistic love, love that is given for its own sake without expecting anything in return.
That's beautiful.
It is beautiful. It's a lot. It's a lot to just take in.
I think that's beautiful, Rach. And we would be remiss to not mention, if you go to authorjoannereed.net, she goes through in detail for each of the definitions of love that we reviewed. I think that's such a good foundation for what we're going to talk about today and even in future episodes, because defining what spiritual love is such a critical first step into strengthening your relationship with God and with your own sense of spirituality, because really understanding that, at least in our culture, we really glamorized the Eros or the passionate love, the relationship love. We all know what attachment love looks like, but this is really different. Like talking about agape or spiritual love really lends an important perspective because you can't earn it.
That's right.
There is nothing you can do or not do to have this beautiful form of love and energy in your life. And I think that's the biggest point that we want to make, is that you inherently get this from God. It has nothing to do with us.
Yes.
It's nothing to do with what we do. We don't have to earn it. We don't have to prove ourselves. It's simply given because we are children of God. And I think that is amazing.
So beautiful.
And what an incredible way for us to understand God in a different perspective. There isn't judgment here. There isn't, you need to be a certain way to earn this type of love. And I think the closest thing that we can get to it as humans is a parent-child relationship, right?
Absolutely.
And of course, people can experience agape without children or regardless, right? That's not the point. But thinking about the selfless love or the compassion and the withstanding acceptance that's there, regardless what your child does or doesn't do, is really, I think, the closest we can come to humans in our own sense without exploring what agape really is. The goal is to really experience this type of love through spiritual practice. But I think all of us would understand out of the gates what it would be like if you think about our own children or our relationship with our parents, if they're good. Obviously, they're not always good. But
yeah, I really believe that there is a reason, at least in Christianity, why God is a father. And I think there's a reason I've learned so much from being a mother about unconditional love.
yes,
And love in its purest form. And it has helped me, and I've reflected many times on how that's similar to the dynamic in the way God loves us.
yes,
It's beautiful. And it's so countercultural. We were discussing that earlier too. In America, everything is earned, right? We
Yes.
are a capitalist nation where you work hard and you earn it and you achieve.
Gotta
and you
get
do
good
all these
grades,
things.
yeah.
So in some ways, hard for us to understand that something so beautiful would just be given without any strings attached, which is
Yes.
so freeing. So freeing.
It's really freeing because I think, and I'll speak for myself, there's a very big portion of my life I was convinced that my worth was tied to what I did or accomplished and not who I was, right?
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
this type of love really could not care less about what I've accomplished, right? That's not even considered. And man, when you experience, we'll talk about a way that you can do a very simple exercise at home towards the end of this episode to help you understand what this type of love feels like. Once you feel it for yourself, you will know what we mean. It is a different sense. It's peace.
It's just going to say it's
acceptance. It's just freedom.
It really is.
And
Yeah.
that's worth pursuing. So I think really that's what we're here today to
100%.
start pursuing.
Absolutely. Before we move on and go on to that exercise you were talking about, I found this quote from Rob Bell that I absolutely love, and I just think it sums it up so perfectly. It says, "Agape doesn't love somebody because they're worthy. Agape makes them worthy by the strength and power of its love. Agape doesn't love somebody because they're beautiful. Agape loves in such a way that it makes them beautiful." And I thought, because that's what this is too. It's such a powerful love that the love changes us, right? It comes into our life and it sits with us, and it truly does transform and change us.
I believe it changes us on a cellular level. Like I believe it changes
Yes.
us from the inside out. And
Yeah.
I think people who have experienced this, practice it, have a completely different demeanor. And I think it's beautiful, right? It's an energy that you want to have around because it feels like peace. It feels like acceptance because they've done their own work to experience it, and it pours out into other people.
And it has the way also of making your priorities right.
Yes.
Because for a long time, I have a history of people pleasing.
Mhm.
I look to everyone else for my worth, right? To tell me I was good enough, to praise me, to fill that void that I was feeling. And
Yes.
all of a sudden, when I started experiencing this, it was just like you said, peace and freedom, but also I'm not looking there anymore. You're not looking to your job. You're not looking to what you are to the external world for other people to fill you up.
Yep.
Like you're looking to the right place to be filled, which is also
Yes.
very beautiful.
Yes. When you're already complete.
Yeah. And you,
don't have to find anything
prove
else. I
or
know.
earn, just like we said. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. So what do you think this love is? I have a couple theories, but what do you think this is? If you could describe it as a thing.
Like the way it feels in my soul, or what it is. What
I would
is
say
the energy?
I would say, what do you think it is?
To me, I call it God.
Yes.
I know for some people that can be triggering. Like a lot of people may not be comfortable with that term. Other people might call it the universe. Some people might say angels.
Your higher
Something
self,
larger
right?
than us.
Yes.
Whatever it is that you believe in that is larger than yourself,
Mm-hmm.
in infinite loving source,
Yes.
whatever you want to call that. For me, that's God. But for other people, that might be different.
I agree with you. I think it's an energy. And I think that it's God's energy. And I think that we have a way to experience it. I think we have a way to leverage it for our own healing, for others' healing. I think it's a tangible thing that once you experience it, you can leverage it for good.
Yes.
And I think that's what's super cool about it. And that's the main reason why I think being aware of this love is so important. It's not just acknowledging that it's there, it's understanding how to use it in your life.
Yes.
And that's really what we're set out here to explore is how can it help us? How can it help others? And it's all about feeling the absolute best and freest in this time and space. And I think experiencing this type of love and learning about it and experiencing it is how you get there.
Yeah. Love, right?
Okay, I've got an exercise for us.
Okay.
Okay, I have a personal experience about spiritual agape love. And when my second oldest son was diagnosed with leukemia, we really focused on positive energy. And I would do meditations in the hospital that were guided healing meditations, and they were remote healing meditations. So they were intended to be with people or for people that weren't necessarily right in front of you. But it was the essence of it was collecting energy from your heart space and taking that energy and visually seeing it go to the person that needs healing. And they said you can visualize it going to like the specific place where they need healing. If it's a mental health issue and there isn't really like a specific physical place or there's unknown symptoms, you could just picture their whole body. But I would do that again and again. And that was really when I started to experience this tangible energy that felt really different. And it was a cognitive choice to tap into my own heart center. And I believe that's where this energy can reside and where we can create it, where we can experience it. So I just wanted to take a couple seconds to go through a little quick exercise to help us experience it, to help our listeners experience it. So do this with me, Rach. Ready?
Okay. I love that. That was beautiful, by the way.
Oh, good. I have lots more to say about that, but we'll just start there. Please either pause this or wait till you get home when you're not driving to start the short meditation and today's practice. Okay, so this is a quick little exercise. Now put your hand on your heart and breathe in deep. Let's do that a few times. Now let's say, I am love, God is love. We could say that out loud a couple times and then inside in our own heads a couple times. Why don't you just go so we don't talk over each other?
I am love. God is love. I am love. God is love.
Now I want you to notice how this feels different from I love you or I love this, because this is connecting us to God's energy that exists in every single one of us. We can access this at any time, any day, no matter what we're going through or where we are. And it immediately grounds us to an energy that creates peace and connects us directly to the loving source, which is God. How do you feel, Rach?
You know what I was just noticing in my body as we did it?
Yes.
When you were talking about grounding, I literally felt my shoulders go like just relax.
Oh, I should try that.
Yeah. No, I could feel like the tension leave and I felt grounded, peaceful, calm. I love that.
Yeah, so that's just
And it's so
Little
easy.
prep.
It can
It's
be
really
so
easy.
simple.
Absolutely. And I found myself doing this either in very high stressful situations or even in moments where I'd love to do a full 30-minute meditation.
You
And
can't
I
always
just
do
can't.
it.
Yeah,
Let's
I
be
just
real.
can't.
Yeah.
It's during the workday or I'm with my kids. And listen, like I get it. If we're in the middle of the grocery store and our kids flipping out, you can't just be like, I love is God. God is love. I am love, right? It would be a little weird.
Yeah.
They call the cops, right?
Yeah.
But it's as simple as putting your hand on your heart, taking a few slow breaths and just intending or setting the intention to connect to that energy. And I promise you, you will feel safer, more grounded, more peaceful in that moment.
I love it.
Yeah. So try it at home and let us know what you think.
Absolutely. This, I just feel, was such a good introduction
I do too.
to spiritual love. I love it.
I do too. I learned a lot. I got quizzed. I got a pop quiz. I haven't had one of those in a while. Love myself a pop quiz. Hey, listen, if you like today's episode, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Share this with a friend, family, anybody that would benefit from a little bit more agape in their life.
That's right.
And also, we'd love to hear from you. So leave a comment. Let us know what you think. And stay tuned for more from Spirit Outspoken.
Thanks for joining us for today's episode. If you're ready to take your spirituality to the next level, be sure to check out our website, spiritoutspoken.com. There you can download free educational resources, read our latest blog posts, and join the Spirit Outspoken community.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Spirit Outspoken to stay up to date on news, happenings, shenanigans, and all things Spirit Outspoken.